took a fight against Jose Zepeda, one of the very best 140-pounders in the world, who just won what everybody says will be the fight of the year. He took that fight on 7 days' notice and went the distance. Lost a 10-round decision against Zepeda, who just knocked out Baranchik.
Yeah, Castaneda can fight. You know, like you said, he took the fight on short notice. He made a decent account of himself. He very outspoken in our fighter meeting. He didn't quite perform the way he said he would, but again, you got to give him somewhat of a pass, taking it on short notice. And Josue Vargas, I think he is a young prodigy, but he's a guy who, he's stuck between two styles. Sometimes I hear him say he wants to box, and other times, like in his last fight, he goes out of his way to fight. So I want to see how he looks tonight.
Vargas scoring and scores again with a long left hand to the body. Had a two-punch combination with a headshot mixed in just moments ago.
You see, Vargas has a tremendous amount of speed, and he's the mover in this fight. He's going to be the slick boxer, using angles. He's a southpaw as well. One of the things you got to look at with a southpaw is the lead foot right here. You want to try to get your foot outside your opponent's lead foot. That's going to put you in position to be able to land your power shots and also keep your opponent off balance.
Boy, he was in an interesting spot when we broadcast his last fight because he's trained by his father, Alario. But his father broke COVID protocols. He violated the rules of the bubble and was not allowed to be with him for the fight. So Raul Rivas took over the duties when he had that win against Brasino. And he went out there, and I thought they had a really nice night of it. Now, he did suffer a cut from a clash of heads over the right eye, but he dominated the fight against Brasino.
Yeah, I think he's lucky he had Raul Rivas in that corner because, he's a great trainer. And if your father can't be there, you want to have another great coach step in, and he did.
I don't think it really mattered if he had, Rivas in the corner. I mean, he gave great instructions, but that kid was ready. I give credit to the father for getting his son ready for what he was about to see.
Three-punch combination, including the right uppercut from Vargas.
The problem with Castaneda is that he doesn't throw enough offense. I noticed something. He's a switch hitter. You might see him switch southpaw. When he switches southpaw, he actually throws more offense from a southpaw stance than he does the right-handed stance.
Castaneda does a lot of posturing. He postures as if he wants to throw. But like you said, he doesn't throw a lot. So Vargas has to make sure that he doesn't allow Castaneda to speed him up. And he's got him, throwing a lot of punches and a lot of movement in this first round.
Castaneda and Vargas, they are scheduled for 10 as we come to the end of one.
Watch your feet, both of you. Watch your feet. Watch your feet in there. There you go.
Born in Puerto Rico, living in the Bronx, New York, Josue, the prodigy, Vargas in that first round. Through 67 punches, landed 17. Castaneda was 10 of 29.
Towards the end of that last round, Castaneda had some good, but great moment. He actually trapped Josue Vargas in the corner and actually threw a combination to the body. When you have a quick fighter like Vargas, you want to try to go down to the body. Beautiful left hand. Wow.
3.
Vargas scores the knockdown here in round 2.
5, 6, 7, 8. Come to me. Come to me. All right, here we go.
Right back to that jab, looking to place the left hand to the body.
Vargas landed that clean shot, that clean straight left, because he wasn't trying to throw it hard. When Vargas tries to throw hard, he doesn't really land that accurately. When he shoots his shot smoothly, they land just like they just did.
And it's so counterintuitive to a younger fighter, isn't it, Trey?
It is, but that's what he's got to get if he's going to continue to step up the competition. He's not a banger. He's not a big puncher. He has to accept that. But he's a sharp puncher.
And to add to that, Dre, timing. That's what it's about. Landing the shot at the right time. And Castaneda was walking in, so it was a double impact. Castaneda actually helped him get that knockdown, or produce that knockdown. And sometimes in the ring, we get hit with shots like that. You saw Castaneda laughing. He had no idea. He got hit, bing. He had no idea why he was on the ground. Just flash knockdowns like that.
Three-punch combination included the left hand to the body. He's targeted that body with the left hand a few times early on here.
But see, that's when Vargas can throw heavy shots in spots. You get your opponent where you want him. You see a body shot open like that, let a hard one go. You just can't throw every shot hard.
Beautiful offense right there. Great sequence right there. Mixing up his attacks, combinations to the head and also to the body. And he brought some uppercuts right up the middle from Vargas.
Oh, that's straight low.
Keep him up. Yeah.
Tony Weeks with the warning. In a round that he scored early on with the straight left hand.
And Tim said it was a flash knockdown, and he was right. Right on the button, and Vargas actually got hit, but because he was in range to get his shot off. Here we see him get hit just with a little jab right there, but his shot got there first, and it had a lot more power on it.
He goes through his pre-fight protocol. He comes out, and he performs. And as he has done through an amateur career that was arguably, and it's a pretty easy argument to make, the best amateur career anybody's ever had.
Yeah.
And now a pro career that has been record-setting in terms of how quickly he has become a three-division champion. Tonight, he tries to become the first undisputed four-belt lightweight champion of the world.
This is the first fight that Bobby Benton and Aaron Navarro are working with Kendo Tremendo Castaneda. And Bobby told me, look, he had his feet together, but it was a good shot. But what he needs to do is start punching with him, not follow him around, because if he does that, we're going to lose this fight. He sparred Regis Prograis, so he's used to power during the last 6 weeks.
Used to power. He just got knocked down with a straight left from Vargas. I think sparring with Regis Prograis probably done something to his chin.
There's a straight right hand that comes in from Castaneda.
Well, how do you emulate Vasily Lomachenko in sparring? If you're Teofimo Lopez, you acquire the services of Josue Vargas, fellas.
It's a pretty good assignment to have, isn't it?
No, stop. Let him up.
What do you think he offered him as a sparring partner?
Tons of movement. Lomachenko moves on angles. Vargas somewhat, moves on angles. You see all the movement there. So that will help him. And he's a southpaw. And he has some speed. So
yeah, all of the above. I mean, you just look at him. He's very skillful, very sharp, very accurate. He pinpoints his shots. He's got speed. He's got IQ. I'm not saying he's a Lomachenko, but he's certainly a great guy to have in camp if you're going to fight Loma.
Well, if you were saying that, we would go grab the lady who's got the temperature gun outside and see how you're feeling.
It's just a look, not the real thing. It's just a look.
Round 3 here scheduled for 10. We have Edgar Berlanga coming up next. Edgar Berlanga, who has started his career with 14 straight first-round knockouts. Then it's an outstanding co-feature of great meaning at 140 pounds between Saucedo and the undefeated Barboza. And then it is Loma and Lopez for everything.
The work looked like it helped Vargas as well because he's looking real sharp tonight. Good movements, crisp punches, accurate. He's landing uppercuts, straight shots. I would like him to pick his jab up a little bit more. That way he wouldn't allow Castaneda to speed his feet up. But other than that, he's fighting a perfect fight thus far.
Blood coming from the nose of Kendo Tremendo Castaneda as we come to the end of round 3. As we start the 4th round, we look at the CompuBox numbers, and Josue Vargas has literally doubled up the amount of punches thrown over Castaneda. 102 to 204. Land early here in round number 4. He has landed 30% of his total punches thrown, 41% of his power shots, including a straight left that scored a knockdown in the 2nd round.
Stop, I got you. Watch that shoulder.
You can see in the beginning, right, of that round, the start of that round, Vargas came out vicious with a combination to the head, and he actually buzzed Castaneda again with the straight left hand.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
That was a right hook, I think, Tim. And, I mentioned Castaneda speeding up the feet of Vargas, and he's just making him move a little bit faster than I would like him to move, and that's causing him to not get the shot that he wants to get in there. All he has to do, and I'm talking about Vargas, is pick up your jab. Something to think about when he tries to march forward. Stick him to the body, stick him to the head, then those clean lefts and uppercuts will be there.
Nice job with that lead hand, huh?
Stop. Listen to me. Here we go.
Because that's how an experienced fighter will try to slow down a fighter that's faster than them. They'll try to apply pressure and get those legs tired and weak.
Told you Castaneda is a 26-year-old from San Antonio. He was the first in his family to be born in the States. He comes from a family of boxers in Mexico.
Stop. Let him out.
Had 120 amateur fights himself. You know, we caught up with him the other day, and he told us the biggest change now with his boxing career is that he stopped working at FedEx. This is a guy that was a package handler for 5 years. So he was waking up, putting in like military hours here. He was waking up at 3 a.m., going about his business, still trying to train and get after.
Good counter right from Castaneda right there, short right. Good right hook from Vargas.
Well, Castaneda needs to start delivering some more punches right now. That's what he needs to do. Right now, he's having a little success right now, timing Vargas. Vargas, he'll move off on angles, and then he'll come straight back in the middle. And Castaneda has figured that out. And he's coming straight down the middle at times with right hands. There it is again.
Body work from Vargas. Castaneda looking to close that gap. Misses with a right hand. Vargas fires back at him. Good combination from Vargas. And a 3-punch combination to close out this 4th round. Short break. We'll be right back. For one champion later tonight who is going to be elevated to undisputed status. Vasily Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez set to come your way right here on ESPN. No switching over to pay-per-view tonight, folks. Round number 5 between Castaneda and Vargas. Vargas has outlanded Castaneda 98-40 to this point.
The game plan of Castaneda is to catch Vargas in between his punches and to continue to apply pressure to try to wear the younger fighter down. That's his game plan.
I mean, he's doing a great job in spots, but, you know, one of the areas when you have a moving fighter is go down to the body. Nice shot right there. If he pays more attention downstairs, he'll have a little bit more success later in the fight.
3-punch combination, finish with the right hand again.
See, those are perfect opportunities right there. Perfect moments for him. When he makes Vargas miss, he has to make him pay. Those are perfect opportunities that he's passing up.
Stop.
Good work with the right hand. He went under the left elbow to the body and then brought it around for the uppercut as well.
Yes, beautiful work from Vargas.
It is, and I just love when Vargas works his jab. If he uses it, he doesn't use it often. You know, most of the time his offense come out in combinations, which is great.
Yeah.
But he can slow the pace down just by using his jab, taking his time, feinting, and moving just aside just a tad bit.
That jab will cause him to make this fight a lot more efficient. He doesn't realize, because he's a young fighter, and maybe Pops, his trainer, hasn't pointed this out, but he's actually making things harder for himself by loading up with big shots and leading with big shots instead of coming behind the jab. He'd be more effective and give up less energy. Just like that.
Beautiful sticks.
Tried to time a left uppercut against Castaneda.
But Sassy kept his head right in the middle. You can't keep your head in the middle like that, and you got to throw it at the right distance.
Castaneda nearly timed a left hook. Good work finishing with the right hand to the body at the end of that combination.
The biggest issue that I have with Vargas is that he continues to work, but what does he do? He pulls straight back. He stays in the line of fire. You got to get your head off to the side or weave under and step around your opponent.
Castaneda just snapped his head back with a jab. There's that doubling up of the right hand. It started with the body shot again.
Good body work.
Joe, Tim, and Dre back with you here in Vegas. Round 6 of 10, Castaneda and Vargas. Take us through that right hand by Castaneda.
Both guys entering in the pocket right here. And like Dre said, what Vargas is doing, he's loading up. You see him loading up right there for a big left, a right hook right there. And he gets caught with a nice, clean right hand from Castaneda. If he had a little bit more pop on his shot, you know, Vargas can be in some serious trouble.
I think Vargas was hurt by that shot, and I'm going to just say it. Castaneda is very, very dangerous because he lands heavy shots. He doesn't throw enough to give himself an opportunity to win on points, but he's landing the right kind of shots, and he's just missing some of those knockout blows, Joe, that he's trying to throw.
And let me tell you something. He appears very confident here early on in round 6, the way he's stepping forward here. You know, we talked to him about that fight against Zepeda. He said, it let me know where I should be.
He doesn't respect Vargas as, in his words, a man. He said he's a boy. He said Zepeda's a man. So his whole game plan, like I said earlier, was just to try to wear down the flashier, quicker, sharper fighter in hopes that he can land a big shot and try to get him out of there. Still a lot of fight left.
Another right hand that scores from Castaneda. Just 2 more fights before we get to the undisputed world championship, and the next fight is going to be really a guy who's become a showstopper in the start of his career, Edgar Berlanga, who has 14 first-round knockouts to open up his career, trying to go 15 for 15.
Watch it, keep him up. Watch it, here we go.
Oh. Man, if Castaneda had a jab, how could he land, you know, make landing that right hand, the over and the straight, so much easier.
See blood coming from the mouth of Castaneda. The nose got bloody in the 3rd round, and now more substantial blood here in the 6th round from the mouth.
Castaneda landed some solid shots. You see him, his feet are grounded. Boom, nice right hand right there from Castaneda.
By far his best round, wouldn't you say, Tim?
Yes. He got active with his hands.
Double-digit power connects in round number, including a fighter falling out of the ring. Lomachenko and Lopez are saying, we don't expect that tonight. But Russell Mora gets the assignment for the big one tonight. As we begin round number 7 here between Castaneda and Vargas. Russell Mora, who has refereed 570 professional fights, He's been the referee for one Vasily Lomachenko fight. It was his pro debut. He has, of course, had many notable fights. And in full transparency of analysis, when you get into Russell Mora, he had some controversy in his past, including what happened almost a year ago when he had a very quick stoppage of a fight between Oscar Valdez and Adam Lopez. Many believe it was far too early as Lopez got stung. He was fighting beautifully and wanted to continue on. The worst that we saw of Russell Mora came in 2011 in a fight with Mares and Agbeko. But since then, he has really dedicated himself, and he has been involved in many major fights, issue-free, including 2019, Kovalev and Alvarez, Broner and Pacquiao, Ramirez and Postal this summer, and just a week ago, he was working the fight between Emmanuel Navarrete and Ruben Villa when Navarrete took the WBO featherweight title. What is your reaction to the assignment of Russell Mora for the big fight tonight?
Well, for me, I just like the fact that, they were actually practicing. It's like intermittent sparring before the big dance. So, that just shows the importance of this fight to me.
I don't have a problem with it. I'm going to be optimistic tonight and believe that Mora's going to do his job. And, I'm going to judge him on his performance tonight, and hopefully he gets it right.
I love the fact that he takes the assignment so seriously that he got in extra work this morning just to ready himself for any scenario. Castaneda sure was ready in that last round when he landed a fight-high 18 punches, as Vargas has tried to steady himself and get back to business here in round number 7. Now, 16, by the way, of those 18 punches that he landed were power shots in that last round by Castaneda.
Castaneda has slowed a little bit this round, but he still landed some flush straight rights and overhand rights, just like we saw right there. And Vargas is not making the adjustment, and that's a major concern for me looking at Vargas tonight.
Yeah, but this is not enough work, not enough offense from Castaneda. You see offense like that from Vargas, that's going to influence the judges.
I'm not talking about points. I'm talking about a potential knockdown or knockout. It just takes one, Tim.
Very true.
Good exchange at the end of 7. Really noticeable in listening in to the corner of Kendo Castaneda that he's in great discomfort. He was complaining a lot about the pain. He's been dealing with blood from his nose and now blood from his mouth. And he was asking a lot of his trainers, no doubt about it.
You can see a little knot forming on the top of his nose. It looked like his nose might be broken. But we as fighters, we got to go through things like that, man. It's part of the game. You got to bite down on your mouthpiece, and you got to continue to fight.
Bobby Benton told me, look, I'm not a doctor, but he's been complaining about that nose, and you can see that the blood continues to flow down to his mouth, and that's what the issue is.
And I believe that happened in round number 3. And now a good angle that time by Vargas as he stepped around to the right to place that left hand to the body, and now a straight left that snaps the head of Castaneda. And when you talk about taking angles to the right and placing a left hand to the body, get ready to say that often with Lomachenko in our main event.
Stop.
That was a beautiful adjustment right there from Josue Vargas. Actually using the left hand and also the lead hand. He's going down to the body viciously with the straight left hand, and then he's coming with a sweeping right hook and stepping around. He's not standing directly in front of Castaneda.
Hands free.
You know what my trainer would tell me? My trainer would have told me, he said, you got 2 options. I can stop the fight, or you can go out here and knock this man out and fight hard. I would tell Castaneda, step on the gas, go out here and let's try to knock this young man out.
It was only 2 rounds ago that he had his best round of productivity when he landed those 16 power punches through 30 power punches. Back to the jab for Vargas, and then back to the body with a 2-punch combination.
shot right there was right on that nose we've been talking about, fellas.
And you saw his legs, how they buckled just a tad bit.
As a fighter, you want to recognize that, especially when you're facing an aggressive fighter, that all of a sudden he's not aggressive. Maybe something is wrong. You got to sense that, step in, and seize the moment.
And that's clearly the case with Castaneda.
He doesn't want to get hit in that nose anymore, so he's been very cautious right now along these ropes.
Good combination to close out this round again by Vargas. Not just any knockout streak. 14 for 14. All of his fights ending in the first round. He is yet to have a fight that has lasted more than 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So Edgar Berlanga from Brooklyn, New York, and he was there with his trainer, Andre Rozier. 14-0, 14 knockouts. Can he go 15 for 15, all in the first round? You find out in moments. Round number 9 here between Castaneda and Vargas. Castaneda clearly affected by his nose. He had a decent 6th round and then started complaining about the nose. And now let's see if he's got much left here. He came forward at the end of 8, and he's a little more offensive-minded here at the 9, but he just took another right hand from Vargas.
Not winning very many rounds, but he's a good shot right there from Vargas. But Castaneda is still dangerous. He keeps landing or just grazing the chin of Vargas in those exchanges. And that's one thing that Vargas has to go back to the drawing board if he's successful tonight, or even if he isn't, and work on if he's going to step up the level of competition. Be disciplined with your jab. Stop getting bored with the jab to set your shots up. And when you get done punching, get out of there. Duck, put your hands up, get off the line, because your chin is in the air every single time.
And to add to that, sometimes he can get a little bit too greedy. He throws too many punches.
Yes.
Sometimes it should be 2. Sometimes it should be 3. But when you're throwing 3s and 4s, punch combinations, a shot can get in there from your opposition.
And credit to Castaneda. He's tough, man. He was tough against Zepeda on 7 days' notice. And, again, he's not winning very many rounds. He's getting outclassed. But, you know, if that nose is busted or broke, he's showing a lot of heart tonight. He's still trying to land a big shot.
It's been the inconsistent work of Castaneda. That's been his downfall. I think that's been his downfall in his whole entire career. He just does not throw enough punches. See, now it's interesting. Vargas now looking to attack now, getting comfortable. You see Castaneda's not throwing any punches, so he decided to step to him.
Good sequence right there from Vargas.
Sure was. You can see the blood continuing to come out of the nose and out of the mouth of Castaneda. Goes to the body, just missed with the right uppercut.
Hands free, hands free.
I think Vargas is finally realizing the body language of Castaneda is different. That's why you see him slowly starting to pick up the pace.
Easier for us to see compared to a guy who's opposite throwing punches. But he figured it out here. 1 round to go, and then we got the 14 for 14 Berlanga. Castaneda. Vargas has thrown 774 punches to this point. He has outlanded Castaneda 208 to 102. Now, in the end of the last round, Dre, you made the comment, you think he finally realizes how affected Castaneda is with the damage to the nose. Let's see if he gets offensive here. Reminder, coming up next is going to be Edgar Berlanga with the knockout streak. 14 straight first-round knockouts to start his career. And when this 10th round comes to an end, we will check in on Lomachenko and Lopez. They have been anxiously waiting in the locker rooms in preparation for their undisputed championship bout.
See, Vargas needs a little bit more help with distance, understanding his distance. You know, he sees Castaneda walking in and automatically assume he needs to shoot the jab out there. And he's not throwing a jab at the right range or distance. And that's the reason why Castaneda's able to land his right hand occasionally in power shots around the outside, because he's too close throwing his punches. See right here, he could have played defense right there. Could have weaved under. Dig down to the body. Beautiful work right there.
Yeah, that's a great point, Tim, is just because your opponent comes forward or just because there is an exchange to be had doesn't mean you need to oblige and punch just because the opponent is there. You may take a walk, you know, and not punch and then come back and then throw a combination. These are things that he has to learn as he steps up the level of competition.
Or you can throw a feint. Throw a feint. It's just like the jab. It's similar. You know, it keeps your opponent off balance. Keep him guessing.
Because as he steps it up, he'll face guys that are just as tough, if not tougher than Castaneda, just as strong, if not stronger, but more skillful.
He's getting hit with solid shots right on the chin and right on the face. Now imagine if Castaneda had a little bit more pop on his shots. He could be in trouble.
Tough way to earn a living, isn't it?
Oh, my goodness. See, it's nights like this when you see the exchanges and you hear the punches. These are the nights that I don't miss boxing, Joe.
Nice to be on this side of it, getting ready to call a super fight rather than take the damage of one. And in this intimate setting, you can hear everything. Every thud of a body shot, every snapping back of leather against head. It'll be incredible to have it with Loma and Lopez in there in just a little bit. They go the full 10 rounds. Kendo, Castaneda, and Josue Vargas. Josue, the prodigy, Vargas. The 22-year-old from New York, the prodigy, is now 18-1. We will hear from him when we come back on